Donald Trump is considering giving out $2,000 dividend tariff checks. And look, I think he should do it. I think he 100%, if he wants any chance of keeping the House and the Senate, both Republican majorities, I think he needs to give the checks out about June, July of next year. And I think that would help him immensely. Look, have we generated enough tariff revenue to pay people $2,000? No. If we were going to redistribute the tariff wealth to be about $100 per person, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. A lot of Republicans are saying we can't do it. The Supreme Court's saying we can't do it. All the fiscal hawks are saying we don't want to increase the debt. We don't want to increase the deficit, et cetera, et cetera. We don't want to cause inflation. Who cares? Look, where is that Machiavellian spirit? Old school politicians, old school leaders and generals, they had this kind of winning mentality. Look, right now it's projected that the Republicans lose the House, and it's about a 40% chance they lose the Senate. Right now, that means that next year, Donald Trump will be impeached if he doesn't keep at least the Senate. But preferably you keep the Senate and the House. In that case, you're still able to do stuff. But most likely you at least lose the House, which means there's going to be a ton of investigations. That means you're not going to be able to pass really anything you want to do. So the clock is ticking. And you can talk about inflation, whatever. We give the checks out in July. People get $2,000. They're a lot more likely to vote for us. And Democrats are a lot less likely to vote for Democrats. It's like, oh, we'll sit this one out. That $2,000 was pretty nice. And maybe it's buying votes. Cool. Don't care. Look, if I'm the president, I'm going to help the people now. And if it hurts them later, that's fine. I'm not the president anymore. The whole goal is you win the midterms and you're able to do whatever you want for the next 2 years and not get impeached, not be investigated. And that's the name of the game. Look, it's cool and it's rosy to pay down the debt, to pay down the deficit. That's awesome. If you want to spend this money on that, that's cool. But that's not going to help your administration now. You want that approval rating to go above 40. Right now, you are in the toilet. Talking about, oh, well, we want the country to be good. We want the country to not be owing as much debt in 20 years. Who cares? I'm not going to be the president in 20 years. I want to win now. So, look, I think he should be pushing heavy on this. Now, the Doge checks were completely laughable. That was never going to happen. $5,000 checks. Look, once again, they saved about $100 per person, which I guess is something, but we never got to see the money, so it didn't really help me at all. And I think if you are a smart politician, you are focused on now. The only thing that is important is now. If you're not in power, it doesn't matter how good your ideas are. If you've got the best ideas and the best plan and the best intentions, if you're not in power, completely irrelevant. If you're in power, that is the most important thing. Win at any cost. Any cost. If you need to pay people, if you need to bribe them, if you need to do universal health care, doesn't matter. Send the people money. You send them money, you're going to at least have a decent shot. If you don't send them money, if inflation keeps ticking up, look, it's probably looking at this point like it's going to be a 50-50 race in the Senate, and that means it's a coin flip if Trump is the president next year at this time. So good luck. I don't know what these people are doing. They're telling them not to send the checks out. Look, for some reason, a lot of these Republicans, they think that doing nothing is going to somehow magically make them approved of. It's like, look, people don't like Democrats, but they also don't like you guys. Do something that is unequivocally going to make everybody happy. It's obvious. Send them money. No, is anybody going to get a $2,000 check and be like, well, I'm not happy about this? No. Everybody's going to cash the check. You put your name on it. You say, vote MAGA 2026, and be done with it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's an obvious winning political strategy. And the fact that people are saying not to do it, it mind boggles me.